Well, maybe you're thinking Acorn has been cut off, right? Well, my next guest says if that's your thought, you should think again. She says she has just uncovered how a taxpayer-funded White House website is helping people to help Acorn push the president's health care plan. Dana Loesch joins me from BigGovernment.com. I want to talk about, Dana, what's going on here, by the way, and I also want to point out at the top that we asked the White House to respond to this, the story that you've written, and they declined. There's no response coming out of the White House. But tell the story. What did you find?
Well, basically, and thanks for having me on, by the way. Basically, what it is Serve.gov, which is the governmental website. It's the clearinghouse for all volunteer opportunities. What was discovered is that when you go to Serve.gov and in the little search field, you can input what interests you. For instance,
so you search for
Acorn. Yeah, and a whole slew of volunteer opportunities came up, including several with Acorn, including healthcare activists. There was a tax preparer, and then there was also a volunteer opportunity with the Get Out the Vote campaign in Ohio.
Now, one of the things, let me stop you for 1 second. One of the things I noticed, I actually did this right before coming up just to see what the whole deal was, is that it redirects you away from Serve.gov. It takes you to this other site called All for Good, I believe, which apparently is another volunteer site. So it's not exactly directly through this White House site, is it? Or
well, no, because some of the screenshots, if you see on the BigGovernment.com website, there's some of the opportunities are actually listed on the Serve.gov site, including the tax preparer and the Get Out the Vote for Ohio. So some opportunities are filtered through All for Good, which is, I mean, it's a good, good way to get to match up activists with volunteer opportunities. However, but some of the ones that are the more contentious ones are actually on the Serve.gov website itself.
So what's an example? We just showed one of them on the screen there, but when you say more contentious, what do you mean by that?
Well, just for the Get Out the Vote campaign in Ohio, Acorn right now is under investigation for voter registration fraud, which is absolutely huge. And then tax preparer, I mean, that's a little bit and that's in the Acorn New Orleans office. Considering everything that is going on with Acorn right now, just with the voter registration fraud, you would think that the White House and the big website that was advocated for, it was advertised by the president during the campaign. He talked about it during all the inaugural festivities. He mentioned it in the State of the Union speech. You would think that they would perhaps distance themselves a little bit from including Acorn in on this, especially
like we said,
now that
they didn't want to comment on it at all, so it's hard to think for them or to comment for them. To try to play devil's advocate to your story, maybe the thought is, hey, I know Acorn's been under fire here, and I know the thing isn't looking good for them, but some of the work they do is legitimate, no?
Well, if you look at the Get Out the Vote campaign in Ohio that went through Acorn, that's actually on the Serve.gov site from the screenshot, I just think it's kind of interesting because they put, oh, we're looking for credible voters or valid voters, and they just have that in quotes, which I think is kind of funny. But I mean, it's great to want to be involved in the community, and it's fantastic to get people involved, except this organization was built on the back of a criminal element. I mean, that's not even up for discussion.
And your issues with taxpayer money being funneled in there and everything else. Dana, we got to run now, but thanks for bringing us the story. People can check it out and decide for themselves there. Serve.